Okay, let me start with this. Charisma Carpenter at 57 in a bikini. Yeah, it's making headlines, but let's not pretend this is just another look at this celebrity moment. What's actually fascinating here isn't her body, it's the conversation her body is forcing us to have. Let me explain. First, the obvious. Her post went viral because people are shocked. Not just because she's in a bikini at 57, though that's part of it, but because of how unapologetically casual she is about it. Like, here's my tan lines, my birthday drinks, and my 20-year-old trainer's workout routine. Oh, and I'm still getting comments about being lovelier now than ever. Wait, hold on. Why is that shocking? Since when is a woman allowed to age and own her sexuality without it being a wow moment? That's the first thing that bugs me here. We've normalized youth as the default for attractiveness so much that when someone defies that timeline, we treat it like breaking news. Now, let's talk about her work ethic. She straight up says maintaining her look takes bloody hard work, especially post-40. But here's the twist, she's not complaining. She's framing it as discipline, not tragedy. And that's where it gets tricky. On one hand, respect her hustle. On the other, why isn't the narrative, she's thriving in her career at 57, the headline instead of look how hot she still is? The fact that her physical appearance is still the focal point, despite her decades of acting chops, says more about us than about her. Oh, and then there's the Playboy reference. She called that era the best she ever felt in her body. Interesting. Let's unpack that. For a generation, Playboy was this toxic mix of empowerment and objectification. Was she reclaiming agency then, or playing into a system that profits off reducing women to visuals? And now, 22 years later, she's in a bikini again, but this time, she's not posing for a magazine. She's on her own terms, celebrating her birthday. That's the real story. The 2013 interview where she jokes about 20-year-olds eating gummy bears. That's not just relatable, it's a quiet rebellion. She's in an industry that treats aging women like expired products, and she's saying, I'll work harder, but I'll also laugh about it. But here's the elephant in the room, her accusations against Joss Whedon. The guy who called her fat while she was pregnant. How does that tie in? Because this isn't just about beauty standards, it's about power. Whedon's behavior wasn't just bullying, it was weaponizing insecurity to control women. And now, here she is, decades later, owning her body on her own terms. That's not just a comeback, it's a middle finger to every creep who ever tried to shrink her. So what's the bigger picture? Charisma's bikini isn't about vanity. It's a manifesto. A reminder that women's value shouldn't be tied to a narrow, ageist ideal. And honestly, the fact that we're still surprised by this in 2024 is the real scandal. Maybe instead of clicking to gawk, we should be asking why it's still radical for a woman to say, I'm allowed to feel good in my skin, at any age. What do you think?